this video, we are going to go over how to factor by grouping, but before we do that, we're going to need to factor out a GCF. So this is a very specific type of factoring problem. It says factor completely. And remember, if you can factor out a GCF, do it. So the GCF of this whole thing is 6, because 6 goes into 12, 18, 24, and 36, W. So I'm going to pull that out first. So I have 6W. That would be times 2W cubed would get me back to 12W to the fourth, plus 3W squared, because 6 times 3 is 18, W times W squared is W cubed, plus 4W, 4 times 6 is 24, W times W is W squared, and then plus 6, because 6 times 6W gives you 36W. So now I bring the 6W along for the ride, and what I'm doing is I'm just focusing on what's inside the parentheses. It's perfect for factoring by grouping. You've got, well, descending powers, starting with a cubic, and we've got a GCF in this first group here, and a GCF here. So let's do it and see where we end up. If it doesn't factor from that, no sweat. But I think it might. So the greatest common factor between these first two terms, the highest degree terms, is W squared. So I have W squared times, what's left is 2W plus 3, because 2W times W squared is 2W cubed, and 3 times W squared is 3W squared. Plus, the GCF of 4W plus 6 is 2. So that leaves me with 2 times, well, 2W plus 3, because 2 times 2W is 4W, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now from here, just focus on the parentheses, the 6W's along for the ride. I know it's a lot to keep track of. Let's make that look more like a W. Let's erase that a little bit. Sweet. And now what we have left on the inside here is the 2W plus 3 is in common. So I get 2W plus 3. That has been distributed to the W squared plus 2. Oh yeah. We had to factor by grouping within the parentheses. And technically, I guess you really don't need these parentheses here and here, and we can move the 6W closer, and then we'd be in great shape. Moral of the story is, even if it's a problem where it seems like there's lots of steps, when you start to recognize in math that each step is a step that you know how to do, you're going to start to recognize that you can make, well, great strides in much lengthier problems when you realize I know how to handle all the ingredients in this recipe. And that's what we're doing in this kind of problem.